How we doing, guys? And it's finished. Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 0. Oh, I don't know how much longer my heart can take this. Listen, we got the job done. And I tell you something, this was one of the games that I was a little worried about and a little wary of. I'm always wary at games, when they're at the Emirates against, teams like Bournemouth, for example. Because you remember last year and you can feel that nervousness in the crowd. There seems to be that sense of, expectation, and that might weigh on the players' minds a little bit more. I just feel that we're a little bit more free away from home. And listen, Bournemouth came into this game in very, very, very good form. And they've got some very dangerous players, the likes of Kluivert, the likes of Solanke. So it was one of those games, and the first 45 minutes, I was watching that and I just had these visions of Aston Villa all over again, where we were completely dominant all over them and we just couldn't score. But this was even worse than the Aston Villa game because we had chance after chance after chance. Bournemouth were throwing everything in front of the ball. The keeper was making save after save. And I was like, oh no. Not again. And then just before half-time, Bukayo Saka from the penalty spot. And listen, there'll be talking points about the penalty that was awarded, and Kai Havertz, did he leave his leg there? Listen, when the goalkeeper goes down the way that he did, you leave the referee with a choice to make. He has to decide. And at the end of the day, I've seen countless penalties in the Premier League given that are identical to that. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you want to talk about contentious decisions, then let's go right back to the opening 10-15 minutes of the first half with Ryan Christie and the tackle on Bukayo Saka. It's a clear red card. Have you seen the state of Bukayo Saka's leg? If you haven't, Google it, go and have a look. It's an absolute mess. And that there, again, is another tackle, 3 out of our last 4 games that have been reckless, over the top and potential leg breakers. And they've not even been reviewed. Are you mad? So before you start talking about Kai Havertz, was it, wasn't it, Ben White touching gloves or anything else, why don't you spend a week talking about the real issues and potential leg breakers? That's what I would like to see you do. Okay? Go to the second half. We knew that Bournemouth were going to come out and be a bit more expansive. They weren't going to set up in the way that they did in the first half because obviously they want to try and score a goal, so they have to. We have a couple of moments at the start of the second half. Bukayo Saka had a good opportunity saved by the goalkeeper. Kai Havertz had an opportunity saved by the goalkeeper. And I'm thinking we need a second goal in this game. There felt nervousness and that air of, just worry within the crowd. And you could tell. And this is what I was talking about playing at home. And Bournemouth were just getting ahead of steam. And there were a couple of half chances with Kluivert in particular. And I was like, we need a second goal. We need a second goal. We need a second goal. And then we got the second goal. It was brilliant from Declan Rice. And, the way he was falling and going off balance and still managed to get the pass into Trossard, who I felt had a really quiet game, but popped up at the right moment when he needed to. 2-0. And I started to breathe. And I thought to myself, that's it. Done and dusted. Game over. Relax. Maybe get a third. Everything's all good. And then there was one moment where Bournemouth scored and then it was ruled out by the referee for a foul on David Raya. And when you look at it, again, we're going to have people talking, saying that there's minimal contact, there's hardly anything gone on, etc., etc. Watch Solanke in the whole entire move. And not at any point does Solanke look at the ball. Not at any point does Solanke try to win it. All he intends to do is step across Raya, give him a nudge. It's only a little nudge, but when you're jumping in the air and you get a little nudge, it's enough to send you quite a distance away. And when you're a goalkeeper and you're jumping to punch the ball clear and then you've been knocked off your path, it's very obvious what's going to happen. So in this instance, the referee and VAR got it absolutely spot on. Is it soft? Yes, it is. But is it a foul? Yes, it is. If Solanke is watching the ball at all times and there's a coming together, I get it. It's not a foul. But the fact that Solanke at no point looks at the ball and you can see him actually step across him and his only intention is to impede David Raya. That is it. It's that simple. Argue amongst yourselves about it. It's a foul. Correct decision by the referee. Then we're going towards injury time, playing out the game. And then I thought I saw one of the goals of the season from Gabriel. Oh my word. What a finish. What a goal. And it was offside. I could not believe it. And then when you watched the replay back, and it was actually Kai Havertz in the build-up and the flick on. It wasn't even Gabriel. He was offside again. It was the correct decision. But then we got the icing on the cake when we broke through. Declan Rice, who was man of the match for me. Energy is just insane. Really good finish. Puts the icing on the cake. 3-0. And listen, that goal there could be massive when it comes to the goal difference. If Man City do draw a game, then the title, if we win our last two, that is, and Man City win their remaining ones and they draw somewhere, the title will go down to goal difference. And right now, we have 10 more than Man City. That goal could be massive. Absolutely massive. A 3-0 win in the Premier League is big. So listen, I'm very, very happy with that at the end of the day. It wasn't vintage at times. It was nervy. But we're at that point in the season where things do get a bit nervy. But what you want to see is get over the line. The problem we had last year, if you remember, when we were playing teams like Bournemouth and your West Hams, etc., Southampton. And these were all games at the Emirates, by the way, as well. Let's remember that, where that whole sense of nervousness is there within the crowd and on the pitch. And we're conceding goals and we're making it difficult. And, you know, Bournemouth, prime example, last season, we were 2-0 down against them. And they were second bottom last season. They're a much better side this year. But now we are a much better side. We are a completely dominant side. We're a team that get the job done. And we look like, you know, we're going to win games. And these ones, we dispatch the teams accordingly. So, listen, we've got the job done. We've got the win. We've got the 3 points. It's over to Man City. We'll see what happens in the game against Wolves. I'm not expecting too much, but you never know. Hopefully they can put up a tough fight and give them a difficult game in the way that Nottingham Forest did last week, who were very unlucky against them. And if Chris Wood could actually finish his dinner, then it might have been a different story. But listen, there we go. That is it for the match reaction. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.